Hey everybody, this is Cholera, and welcome to Game 5, the final game of the set. Is Canata going to move on, or is fan favorite, the old bourgeois Savior, going to move on for this MSL group? We're going to find out. This should be a good rematch of these two, who faced off in Game 1, where I feel like Savior had a chance of winning it, but in the late games, Canata just outplayed him, and Savior wasn't playing totally up to snuff, as Klazart may have pointed out. And I did enjoy watching that commentary, although I also was quite happy when, by the fact that, of course, Savior would have another chance. Klazart seemed not to know it at that time, but I'm sure he was happy about the fact that Savior does have another shot, and here is his chance now to move out of the group. If he wins this game, he will be moving out. Of course, if he doesn't, then that will be the end of another season for him without much progress in the Star Leagues, unfortunately. This is Carthage here. I think it's Carthage III by now in its current iteration. Canata, of course, at the upper left, and Savior at the bottom right. Last game, I feel like Savior played textbook 2007 StarCraft. I mean, back in the day, that used to be a very common kind of game that just played out, and Savior really was the best player in the world during that time, using those kind of builds. And really, it was actually after the Terrans got better with their SK Terran, they got to their science vessels quicker, that Savior really started having problems. After Terran started being able to defend against 3 hatchery Mutalisk harass, actually, I would say specifically, is when Savior had problems. Because Savior never had the ability, or perhaps never tried to really try, and practice to transition to 2 hatch Mutalisks, which is a totally different strategy, by the way. You might think it's fairly similar, but it's not. 2 hatch Mutalisks will give you a much different timing, and will give you a much weaker economy, but it will definitely be able to do more damage to a modern M&M build. But Savior never really was able to adjust to that, I felt, and his 3 hatch Mutalisk build, by the time he got Mutalisks, those 9 Mutas out, I mean, most Terrans were pretty well prepared for it, and then Savior just wasn't able to do enough damage, and then he fell behind against a tank push, yada yada yada. And he tried to innovate then by doing even worse things, like I told you, the fast 2-base Defiler build, which I think was one of the dumbest ideas ever, because you barely have enough gas to like get 1 or 2 Defilers, and by then, even though it is a rush to Defilers, I guess, the Terran just just waits until he finds an opportunity to kill those vulnerable Defilers, or he just attacks your expansions, and you don't have enough yet to defend all your bases. So, you're just forced to stay at 2 bases, which obviously isn't going to work out. But in any case, it looks like Savior is going to be scouting with his Overlord, and we're not sure exactly what we're going to see. Okay, actually, we are going to see a factory build here. I didn't see the gas there previously, so it is going to be a factory build, a modern Terran build, I would say, given that M&M is now pretty rare. And we'll see what Savior could say about that. I don't know if he's not going to be able to scout that second. He's not going to be able to scout the factory for a while because he hasn't sent a secondary scout. Savior is going for 3 hatchery opening nonetheless, and certainly I actually think 3 hatchery openings against mech are pretty strong. In fact, I think it allows you more leeway in terms of possibly switching to Hydralisks if you want to. If you feel like the Terran has exposed himself in the early game by not building enough, by expanding perhaps. And it also allows you to get a fair number of Mutalisks and Hydralisks, which is more standard in general. And it looks like we are going to see a fast expand here after Factory. Of course, many Terrans do this. I like this build perhaps the most out of the Terran mech builds. I think it's probably the most powerful, and there's not that many great counters to this. Like I said, one of the possible ones is that fast Hydralisk rush. Another is, of course, just getting early Mutalisks, 2 hatch Mutalisks or something like that. But it's not the most a crackable build, basically, unlike some kind of weird Vulture drop builds or some Valkyrie build, or those strange trick ponies, one-trick ponies kind of builds. They really achieve one thing, and if they don't achieve it, then they kind of lose. This one is such adorable build, and we're going to see what Savior can do about it, because this leads to a powerful mid-game army, as we all know, and we're seeing a deviation from it. We're going to see whether it's going to be for Vulture drops, which is possible, obviously, or if it's going to be for Wraiths. Both of which are decent. By the way, the main reason I don't like the fantasy build, if you want to call it, is because it doesn't have this early expansion. This is very different from it in that the fantasy build really rushes your way up to Starport, and then It forces you to do damage with vultures, with mines, and then it forces you to defend with Valkyries from any air instead of having turrets, because you don't have the minerals and you don't want to build them, and you don't have an expansion yet, so you just keep waiting for a chance to expand basically in the standard build that he uses with those timings. Anyway, it looks like vultures are out with mines. It is going to be a drop, but this is a later drop. I think Savior should be prepared for it, although you never can tell, though, what Canata is going to be able to achieve here. Savior has not built a Hydralisk Den, by the way. He doesn't feel the need to, I guess. I think he's correctly identified the build. Obviously, he's seen the natural expansion going up, so he feels like there's not enough vultures on the field to warrant going for Hydralisks. And he feels like there's not going to be, obviously rates will not come that early either. So he feels safe without them, but this does leave a slight window of time, perhaps for a vulture drop, even though it is a delayed vulture drop. We're going to have to see, though. I'm not sure exactly the timing of that 3 hatchery Spire versus the vulture drop after 1 base. And it looks like the dropship is out, and if he hurries up, Canata could get those vultures in before Mulisks are patrolling around. It's going to be close, though. He is delaying a little bit here, and I think this is going to prove that, yeah, Savior's going to be done with the Spire right now, so I don't think these vultures will do much. Although it's going to be close. There is a little bit of a window here. This is probably why Zergs get the Hydralisks usually, even when they see the Terran fast expand, like this. Because they are afraid of, obviously vulture run-bys can be a possibility, or drops, or rates. And drops right now are not working well for Canata. Man, he was still trying to pick up those vultures. That was an ordeal. God, that took forever. And that's going to cost him the window of timing he had. Now, if Savior runs away with the Mulisks, and tries to attack or something, but wait, he spots it finally. I was going to say, if he runs him away, then he could lose a number of units, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much here, these speed vultures. Even though they're speed upgraded, and even though they did get in, they get 2 drones. Savior, just pick that one off. Come on, you could do it, Savior. Stop. Just kill it. Kill it. Ah, there it goes. I don't think he got the dropship, though. So, Savior takes down that harassment without much in the way of losses at all, obviously. And that certainly gives him a good boost in this situation, in this game overall. Savior trying to expand now with his 4th hatchery on the left. It's a pretty ambitious expansion. I think it's also correct, given the game situation. I think it's a good move, and Canata knows about it, but there's not much he can do at this point yet. Although he soon will have a rolling economy and a lot of factories, and he's going to be able to build a pretty big Goliath force, I believe. Savior also has an evolution chamber up really early. Oh no, he is going to go for Valkyries also, in addition to Goliath. So this is really a strong air build. But Savior, the moment he sees this, he should just completely stop building well, yeah, I would say he should stop building air and just go mass Hydras. I think that's the best counter against this kind of build, in fact. I mean, you can contest the air still. Of course, that's still always an option. But, Valkyries are hard to kill. I mean, you have Jaedong Scourges them well, but not everyone can do that. That is a very powerful anti-air build, as you can see. So Savior needs to have something other than Mutalisks. Possibly Hydralisks would be very good, in fact, right now. He's probably wishing he had some. The moment he sees those Valkyries, especially if he can't Scourge them. And Savior has not seen them yet. This could be something that changes the game completely, because he might lose that new base over there. He still hasn't spotted those Valkyries. Those Valkyries are being saved up for the big attack here for Canata. I think that's a smart move. Now Savior knows he only has 2 Hydras there. Those Mutalisks are going to be so vulnerable, stacked together like that against the range upgraded Goliaths and the 2 Valkyries. Man, this is going to be hard. Savior needs Hydralisks badly. He's going to go in, but this is going to be a sacrifice here. Definitely a sacrifice move. It's going to be close. Oh, it's good enough, it seems. Barely, because Hydralisks come up from behind. Oh, whoa, though. Canata actually losing a lot of units there. You actually get Scourged with some last-minute Scourge coming in on there, and Savior actually holds this off very admirably. I think that was a very, very nice maneuver there with the Hydralisks coming in the back. Well, I guess he had to do it. I mean, he was just moving them as quickly as he could, but it was a very, very fortuitous timing for him. And it was a good reaction for him also to attack with the Mutalisks like he did, just so he could make sure he won that battle. He wouldn't have won it without those Mutalisks, of course. So Canata right now has this early science vessel, or science facility rather. That's interesting. I think it is for the upgrades mainly. I don't think he's going to have enough gas to build science vessels. Usually we never see science vessels with a mech build. And we're going to be seeing another Vulture drop, it looks like. Maybe with Goliaths also. Nope, just Vultures here. And some Valks. Or one Valk, I think. Savior with speed upgraded Overlords. And some Scourge hanging out in the back. That could be useful for him, certainly. Savior may have drop also as a possibility, which is possibly why he's moving these Overlords, although certainly scouting is important too. Savior, well, he has spotted. Let's see if he has reaction time. Oh, wait, he's gotten one. Is he going to get the other one? He gets the other one. 2 Vultures do get in, though. Not quite the reaction time of the best, but certainly, obviously, pretty good. Savior is going to lose a number of drones regardless, though. 5 drones, ouch. That's actually 6. So, and mines now, so